Hello, welcome yet again to the second part of the lecture, that is what we are doing of class 8th, understanding secularism. My name is Ashwin Joglikar and I am from Resonance PCCP division. So let us continue and understand and move ahead with our chapter. First of all, just to have a brief idea, that is, we looked at secularism, what is secularism, and in what ways Indian secularism is practiced, and in what ways the Indian government or the state tries to prevent the domination of one particular religion, how it cooperates with different religions and other things. Now, second point, today what we will be looking at is about in what ways Indian secularism different from secularism which is practiced in other democratic countries. Now, in a democratic country like USA, the US constitution prohibits the legislature from making any laws respecting an establishment of religion or that prohibit the free exercise of religion. This means that legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion. Apart from that, in Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs when it feels so, that it needs to intervene. And again, by intervening a conflict could be avoided. That is in part of Indian secularism. Whereas in US, the religion and the government is completely different or completely separate. In Indian secularism, though the state is not strictly separate from the religion, it does maintain a principal distance vis-a-vis religion. So it is not strictly separate also, and it maintains a distance, but it interferes or whenever it requires or feels like that it should interfere, so that any kind of conflict between religious communities could be avoided. This means that any interference in religion by the state has to be based on ideals laid out in the constitution. Fourth point here, the Indian state is secular and works in various ways to prevent religious domination. So that is, Indian secularism again works in various ways so that religious domination of one particular religion could be prevented. Moving further, the Indian constitution guarantees fundamental rights that are based again on these secular principles, and the knowledge that such rights exist also makes us sensitive to their violations and enables us to take action when these violations take place. Now, Indian secularism and democratic societies of the world. Now, some of the above objectives are similar to those that have been included in the constitutions of secular democratic countries in other parts of the world. That is, first of all, if we will see, that is, some of the objectives which are mentioned here are similar to those have been included in constitution of different countries. Now, if you see this picture given and about USA, that is, in United States of America, most children in government schools are have to begin their school day reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, which has the words "under God." Now, as we know that in America this was kept separate, that is religion and center. So there were again a lot of petitions which were their legal challenges, that to remove this objecting to the phrase "under God", saying that it violates the separation between church and the state. So issues like these are there in many of the countries. The First Amendment of the US Constitution prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion or that prohibit the free exercise of religion. The word establishment here means that the legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion, nor can they give preference to one religion. So they cannot declare any religion as the official religion, nor they can give preference to any one religion. In USA, the separation between state and religion means that neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. That is, both are completely separate. Indian secularism again, the point that is differs from dominant understanding of secularism as practiced in USA or United States of America, because in India there is some kind of interference whenever the state feels it needs to interfere. Unlike the strict separation between religion and the state in America, secularism in Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs. Indian constitution intervened in Hindu religious practices in order to abolish untouchability. Also, though the state is not strictly separate, it maintains a distance. Move into the part of France. In again France, if you will see 2004 France passed a law banning students from wearing any conspicuous religious or political signs or symbols such as the Islamic headscarf, the Jewish skull cap or the large Christian crosses. Now even we will see in India also such controversies are going on right now, as so you can quite relate to these topics like secularism, which is in our subject matter, as well as in today's world or in today's scenario, what is happening in different countries related to religion and how important such an ideology of or thought of secularism becomes. This law has encountered a lot of resistance from immigrants who actually had come from the former French colonies of Algeria, Tunisia and Morocco. In the 60s, France had faced a shortage of workers, so therefore they wanted people to come there and provided visas for these immigrants to come and work. The daughters of these immigrants often wear headscarves while attending school. However, with the passing of this new law, they have been expelled from their school for wearing headscarves. This means that any interference in religion by the state has to be based on the ideas laid out in the constitution. These ideas serve as the standard through which we can judge whether the state is or is not behaving according to the secular principles. So whether the state is taking a biased position in terms of a particular religion. Now, protection of secularism in India. Indian state is secular and works in various ways to prevent religious domination. The Indian constitution guarantees again fundamental rights that are based on these secular principles. However, again this is not to say that there is no violation of these rights in Indian society. Indeed, it is precisely because such violations happen frequently that we need a constitutional mechanism to prevent them from happening. The knowledge that such rights again exist makes us sensitive to the whole idea and to their violations and enables us to take action when these violations take place. So this is about the Indian secularism here in this chapter. Just let's go to the recall part of it. The Indian constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs, practices and as they can wish to interpret. In keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India also adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. Almost all the countries of the world will have more than one religious group living in them. Why? Because and within these religious groups there will be most likely to be one group that is majority, and if this majority group again has access to state power, they could quite easily use this power and financial resources to discriminate and persecute persons alright, to persecute persons of other religions. Indian constitution again intervened in Hindu religious practices in order to abolish untouchability. That was a practice. Secularism also, though the state is not in Indian secularism, state is again not strictly separate from religion like is in the case of America or USA. It does maintain a principal distance vis-a-vis religion. Indian state is secular and works in various ways to prevent religious domination. Indian constitution guarantees again fundamental rights that are based on these secular principles. However, this is not to say that there is no violation of these rights in Indian society. So that is all for today. Thank you so much.